This is part 4 of the anatomy of the inventory page. These are the GST codes for the item. By default these will follow the GST codes as entered under Add/Edit Clinic Details, Default GST Tax Codes. This is the default dosage that will be filled up in the patient page when this item is selected. The default dosage will be filled up here. For children, if body weight, concentration and dosage formula are available, this dosage will be calculated by that formula and will not follow the default dosage. Dosages list can be managed here. The description will be printed on the labels. When dosage/freak is selected, the dosage description will be automatically filled up. This description will be printed on the labels. If this item is to be tracked as controlled substance, tick controlled substance, that can be monitored like in psychotropic registry. These are the indications and dosage guide that will be displayed in the patient page. In the patient page, when you hover the mouse on I, the indications and dosage box will be displayed. The indications and dosage box. When an item is selected in the inventory page, it is disabled for editing. Tick Allow Edit to enable editing. This shows the available stock of this item in the clinic and connected branches. Local is this clinic. These are the connected branches. Clicking on these will load the available stocks in those branches. The available stocks according to clinics. Dosages, to manage the dosages list. Units, to manage the inventory units list. Forms, to manage the pharmaceutical forms list. Groups, to manage the groups list. Generic names, to manage the generic names list. For every item, the preferred vendor can be specified. When purchase order, PO, is created, it can be created according to vendors, suppliers. The PO will contain items that have that vendor as the preferred vendor. If the clinic is receiving inventory items from HQ, this central ID must be filled up with the item ID as provided by the HQ. To save any changes done, click Edit. Order levels, specify minimum stock levels. Specify the minimum levels for store and local, for 2-tier clinics, or just store, for 1-tier clinics. Make sure the levels specified are in these units. The order levels can also be set in List All. Minimum levels for store, left, and local, right. When minimum levels are set, if there are items with stocks lesser than the minimum levels, this alert will be displayed. These are the items that have stocks below the minimum levels. Stork by batch, list down all batches and their quantities. Adjustments to stocks are done here. The available batches and their stock quantities. This is the batch number, automatically generated when item is received from supplier. This is the expiry date of this batch. If these quantities are changed, provide the reasons for the adjustment and click Update to save. If this batch is being disposed, e.g. expired, tick Disposed. And provide reasons for this disposal and click Update to save. Disposed items can be tracked separately. Disposed items can be tracked here. When receiving this item from supplier, if conversion factor was saved, the converted quantities will be displayed here. This will make it easier to make out the stock quantities. This is the conversion factor that can be saved when receiving items from supplier. If any notes were recorded when receiving this item from supplier, it will be displayed here. This is where the notes/remarks can be saved when receiving items from supplier. For two-tier clinics, Local CT by batch will list down all batches and their quantities as available in the dispensary, local. Adjustments to stocks are done here. The available batches and their stock quantities in the dispensary, local. Adjustments and disposals are done the same way as in Store CT by batch. Usually this section is empty on first load. Click here to display the inventory menus. The inventory menus will now be displayed. To inactivate an item, tick Inactivate and click Edit to save. To activate, untick Inactivate and click Edit to save. Items can also be activated/inactivated by going to List All. Ticking this will activate the item. Unticking this will inactivate the item. Surcharges and percentage can be specified here. When specified, all injections and medicines selling prices will be increased by this percentage. This box shows some important indicators to maintain inventory accuracy. To maintain accurate stock, it is very important to make sure all dispensed medications and injections have correct batch number saved. If there are any dispensed injections/medicines without batch number saved, they will show here as missing batch numbers. To maintain accuracy, missing batch numbers must be 0 at all times. Bad, there should not be any medicines dispensed without batch number saved. Refer Checking and Maintaining Inventory Health on how to identify and save batch numbers. This is the lowest margin, difference between cost price and selling price. It must always be a positive number. Bad, negative margin indicates the selling price is lower than the cost price. Refer Checking and Maintaining Inventory Health on how to identify and fix margin errors. This is the highest margin. Bad, margins that are too high usually are results of wrong units/prices. Refer Checking and Maintaining Inventory Health on how to identify and fix margin errors. To identify the problems in margins, scroll down and click Margin Check. These are all the inventory items arranged from lowest to highest margins. These are the inventory units. These are the cost, suppliers' prices. The lowest and highest costs are shown. These are the selling prices. These are the margins, difference of selling prices and cost prices. The lowest and highest margins are shown. To see how these margins are calculated, click on the cost. All the received items will be listed along with dates, suppliers, invoice numbers and the costs. When you have bad figures like this, it is important to search and fix the causes. More on how to correct these mistakes under Checking and Maintaining Inventory Health. That's it. You're done.